right, this is gonna be fun. Everything your higher self knows, but your ego self doesn't want to hear. So, first of all, what is ego self? Your ego self isn't just arrogance, even though it includes that, but it's actually way broader than that. Your ego self is basically who you think you are and who the average person thinks they are, which is you're a human being, you're a personality. It's a big part of it. Your conscious mind. Uh, it is what is separate from all that is, because that's all that is all that is, right? All there is all that is. We are just, like I've said, we are just the God that is an ocean, but then the ego self thinks of it as a drop of water. This includes the five senses, which is what we base everything on. That's reality to us, is five senses. Um, and this is, shocking to some people, but all of that is not only not who you are, but doesn't serve your life purpose or your soul purpose, your higher self purpose. And that's why dreams, meditation, altered states of consciousness, these are ways to access that. Go behind the veil, and then you'll find out, oh yeah, I forgot I made a soul contract to do this, and oh yeah, I had soul groups, and that's who my mom is, and that's who my whatever girlfriend is, and but when we are here, normal conscious mind living, we don't remember any of that. The spirit guides, this sort of thing can help you access that. Intuition is the easy way. So that goes back to this. You chose your soul purpose or higher self purpose. It's probably a better way to put it. You chose this life. You chose the time to come now, which is a great time to come because of the ascension. But it's also a very hard time for your ego. So that's why people aren't necessarily liking it. But because there's a lot of purging going on and a lot of scary things that are probably coming. So, but you chose this, so you got to own up to it. Even though your mind doesn't remember, usually that's the problem. But you're here, and it's obvious that if you believe that we all are in this world together, when I say world, the universe together, you are completely connected to the universe. You are the universe. There's no difference from the whole God and you as an individual. There is just only God and the universe. And so you chose this. Own up to it. If you're resisting your current conditions in life, you're resisting yourself because you chose this. And big part of that, of course, is to do with negative karma that's coming up, and so you got to clear that, and that doesn't feel good. So I understand that, but you got to face your shadow. That's the bottom line as well, to be able to reach these sort of levels of awakening. The most important thing that the New Age doesn't talk about is you got to face your shadow. You got to. Oh, and by the way, evil is a good thing because it speeds up the awakening process. It's something for the goodness to push up against and elevate. And just like in your lives, when people hit rock bottom, that's the time where they can move up faster than ever before in life. It's just unknown and scary and people don't like it, but afterwards you look back and think, wow, that was the quickest awakening moment of my life, where you could skip levels instantly, is when you hit rock bottom and, like, quote unquote very negative things happen. Like they say, Adolf Hitler, we always say he's the worst human being ever. Well, a lot of good came out of him, of course he did bad, but more good came out of it ultimately. That's just another example. Okay, so yeah, your shadow is the same thing as the dark side is evil, right? And then your shadow is your dark side. And so that is a really good thing if you can work with it and don't fight against it. That doesn't mean that you accept I'm not saying that you let it just do whatever it wants, but you just don't fight against it. Just like the war on terror, the war on racism, the war on drugs. Um, what else? There was one more. Oh, okay, and like spiritual warfare in Christianity, fighting the devil. All of these things, it's plain to see. All of these things make the situation bigger and makes it worse. So um, you can't fight against it, but at the same time, you can't. That doesn't mean you like it. You work with it, and then it'll help you evolve faster. Another thing, a lot of people are gonna find really a little uncomfortable is law of attraction. Everyone's into law of attraction. Guess what? Law of attraction ultimately, or if you want to do the essential, pure law of attraction that most people get into, like The Secret and stuff, that is just ego self, and that's why it doesn't work until you clear your shadow and you're fully integrated with your and you know what your higher self wants. You're not going to attract these things because your ego in the background is doing all of these um, is working against you and doing these things that you know, like, hey, I thought I want to be rich, but your ego, your shadow side in the background is really running the program. And that's why you keep attracting these douchebags or women that are, you know, bitche whatever, um, because and you swear up and down that you don't want that, but your life keeps attracting the same partner that is bad for you. Why? Because your shadow's really running the program until you clear it out of your subconscious and your soul memory, aura, whatever memories. Um, okay, so there you go. Okay, everything your soul knows, your higher self knows, but your ego doesn't want to hear. Um, and just to end it on a good note, it's you are already the oneness. You are already the everythingness. You are already what we would consider God. Don't look for God. You are God, but not in the ego way, the normal word ego way, but you are God. You are already the highest of vibrations. The more you just unpeel the layers, okay?